This unit is on appetizers, and this corresponds to Chapter 29 in your On Cooking textbook. There are many different types of appetizers. There are canopies, and these are tiny open-faced sandwiches. Caviar, which is the salted roe of sturgeon fish, and if you don't know what roe is, that is fish eggs. There's crudité, which is raw or slightly blanched vegetables. All of you have probably had this. It's commonly known as a veggie tray, but the French word for that is crudité. There are dips that can be hot or cold that accompany veggie trays, crudité, crackers, chips, toast, bread, or other food, and sushi, which is cooked or raw fish or shellfish served on seasoned rice, and you will also get to make that. Now, the guidelines for preparing canopies: they should be small, 1 or 2 bites. They should be very flavorful and well seasoned without being overpowering. They should be visually attractive, and they're generally a small snack food for a party. Now, there are 3 parts to the canopy. There is the base, which is the bread or toast, cracker, or vegetable that the rest of the food is built on. There is a spread that usually goes on top of the base, and this provides flavor. It's usually a flavored butter or cream cheese type of mixture. And then there is your garnish, and this can dominate or complement the spread. And there's a vast variety of food items that can be used for this. Now, slicing bread for canopies is easiest done if the bread is frozen. And this is some examples of how to do that where you're not wasting any of the bread. You can also use cookie cutters if you want to get real creative with your shapes, or if you have a theme going on. A round cookie cutter would be generic. A small heart cookie cutter would be great for Valentine's Day. Okay. Here's some examples of some canopies. There's a salmon, a salami, and a shrimp one. You can see that these all are very small. They have a base. Most of them you can see some type of white cheese or dip underneath the top, and then they are garnished. So what you're going to do now is pause this slideshow, and you're going to go on YouTube, and you're going to search canopies. And there's going to be a wide variety of videos for you to choose from that demonstrate how to make some canopies. You don't need to watch the whole videos. You just need to get an idea of what they're doing with the canopies and record what you find on your sheet. And we'll see you when you come back to this. Now that you're back, we're going to talk a little bit about caviar. The generic term is roe, which means the fish eggs from sturgeon fish. And I just wanted to give you some ideas of what it looks like. There are 8 varieties here that have their prices down. As you see, this American sturgeon is $12 for 1 ounce. And if you go to beluga, it's $359 for 1 3/4 ounce, which I believe comes to about $205 an ounce. Now, the average person probably eats one. If you're having a party, you would allow 1 to 1.5 ounces per person. And so if you sit and figure, this could be a very expensive item to add to your menu, which is why a lot of us don't do it. But this is what it looks like. It comes in a variety of colors based on the type of fish the eggs came from. Crudité, again, means raw thing, and it's commonly known as a veggie tray. It can be raw or slightly blanched fresh vegetables. Almost any vegetables can be used on a vegetable tray. It's generally served with a dip, and you should only use the freshest and best looking produce because that is what's on display as the vegetable. It's not being covered with the sauce or cooked inside a meal. It's the actual veggie that is on display. Now here's an example of crudité in a dip, and this is just one display that somebody did. And again, your guests would come and you would have a spoon or something in that dip for them to get it out with. The dips can be served hot or cold. They are an accompaniment to crudité, crackers, chips, toast, bread, or other foods. Cold dips commonly have a base of mayonnaise, cream cheese, or sour cream, where your hot dips commonly have a base of bechamel, which is a white sauce, cream sauce, or a cheese sauce. Now moving on to sushi, you will get to make some sushi. I'm going to just talk about 2 different kinds here. Nigiri sushi, which is rice and raw fish, and norimaki sushi, which is rice rolled in seaweed. And you might have seen both of these if you're a sushi person. When you're making sushi, the fish must be of the highest quality and absolutely fresh because they're eating the fish many times raw. The rice needs to be short grain rice seasoned with vinegar, salt, and sugar. And usually the rice, you can buy rice that's called sushi rice, or commonly we would use jasmine rice. And this rice is different because it sticks together really well. You want it to stick together so it holds its shape in the sushi. Some typical seasonings for sushi include shoyu, which is a Japanese soy sauce, wasabi, which is sometimes called green horseradish, and this is very, very hot, very hot. Pickled ginger, which is ginger that's been pickled in vinegar, and nori, which is dried seaweed, and you purchase it in sheets. And you will use nori, and you will get to see what that looks like in the video when you're doing your watching your video to make your sushi. Now here is a short video on nigori sushi. We're going to go to that right now. And again, it's just a couple minutes long. And this will show you how to make it. Now this is very, very easy to do. Any of you could do this. We have to get through this wonderful ad first for Neutrogena, and then we will be on to our sushi. Okay, we are back, and that again is how you make nigiri sushi. It's very easy. Again, it's just the raw fish with some rice. Typically, again, we would use jasmine rice. And the reason you wet your fingers is so that the rice doesn't stick to them when you're trying to go with that. Now, noramaki sushi is used only you're using nori, which is dried seaweed paper. And on this example, you have your nori, which is this green seaweed paper, and you put your jasmine rice on top of it. And then here you have a long skinny piece of your fish or seafood, and you might have a piece of cucumber in there. You could throw avocado in there, some ginger, anything you want, and then you roll it up. And the mat you're using is a bamboo mat, and you roll it up very, very tightly, and then you simply slice it into your sushi rolls. Now for class, you will be making a California roll, and we have a whole separate video for that. All right, thank you.